have, on the not-for-profit side, we set up philanthropically this early stage funding mechanism.
Right.
So that it can become the
So
first.
that's the evergreen early stage funding.
Yeah, it can be, and it's sustainable.
Right.
Because it's
Evergreen.
It's an evergreen endowment. And then what we can do is that, and the family offices can participate in that, but the family offices can also participate in the for-profit. They can see what's going on locally. The companies stay local. What a great thing. They can actually be involved in the local companies.
Right.
Like in Cleveland, they have a lot of good resources, but they're not keeping the companies there.
Right.
And so they have all of the pieces of the puzzle, except they don't have the capital.
Right.
And that's the thing that we're going to solve. And then the other part is once you get the solve for the 0 to 3, we got to start solving it for the rest of the time.
Right.
But I think we can do it. I think we can get through the endowments that we're creating. We can get the where it's appropriate. We can get the venture capitalists to come in for funding the things that they will fund,
Right.
and that we're going to get the family offices to come in to fund the things that they can fund.
Right.
So we're in a very early stage
Right.
of this, but it's a very exciting world to be.
My saying is in the early stage life science, you've got the 4 Ds, drugs, devices, diagnostics, and digital health. And you're saying drugs is great. There's a lot of money going to drugs, but the other ones, the devices, the diagnostics, and the digital health, they don't need the kind of money that drugs or the type of time that
Right.
drugs takes. So it's a perfect match for
Right.
angels and family offices because it's smaller money, quicker development,
Right.
and you can find these assets regionally, and then if you fund them properly, you can keep them regionally, but they can participate in a global network.
Right, and let me give you the diagnostic problem.
Yeah.
Because Lilly just had an Alzheimer failure in one of their drugs. They spent $1.5 billion. Why did they fail? After the fact, they found out that they had a pill that was supposed to get rid of amyloid in the brain. Well, 30% of the people they were giving it to didn't have any amyloid. But it turns out that the pill actually does work. It's a failure of the diagnostic. A diagnostic could have been $10 to $15 million to develop and use, and they spent $1.5 billion that went down the drain.
Right.
I mean, there's a mismatch here. We have to, among other things, in the chronic disease, I'll just give you Alzheimer's. There is no good diagnostic for Alzheimer's. The only way you know for sure is post-mortem, but that's a little bit late. You can get the PET scan. It's very late. There's nothing that's early, that's reliable, and lower cost. We're going to have that within the next, according to Howard Phillip at the Alzheimer Drug Discovery Foundation, we're going to have that in the next 4 years.
So Chuck, we've been hanging out together for about 2 years now. We wanted to understand what the Family Office Network could do to help early stage life science. You've been our title sponsor. You've seen us go from U.S. to Europe, and now we're going to inside of China in the Pac Rim in Taiwan. So how has your initiatives dovetailed with what we're doing at Life Science Nation in the RESI conference?
Well, what we're really doing is, there are plenty of conferences out there.
Right.
The thing is what are you really addressing the market? I would argue that the conferences that are out there are not addressing the market. What you have to do, we have a very broken funding system for life science. I've described it a little bit already. In the U.S., it's 0 to 3. We got to get that funded, and then that's when RESI can really kick in. And I think that there's some other things that we can bring in. I think that we need to bring in the mentors early on. Down the road, I think we need to bring in the Salesforce types of things that are out there and the like. And what we really need to do is have a better ecosystem. We need to shape the family offices and the angels. They're the only family office group that has a relationship, a partnership with the angel groups. They love working with us, and we're beginning to understand each other and work together. I saw the angel, and here's my vision. I saw the first angel, Hans Severance, when he was in San Francisco, and he said, I'm going down to Palo Alto and formed the Band of Angels, and we all wished him good luck. Well, today there are now 30,000 angels, 13,000 of which are part of the Angel Capital Association. They meet now once a year with to 600 to 700 people that show up. But early on, they were founded in 2002. They were disorganized. They had to meet each other. They had to trust each other. We're at the same stage with the Global Family Office BioForum, which we formed with this network of 360 family offices around the globe. So, we're operating already in 3 continents.
So you've already figured out, you've got 360 family offices in the Global Family Office BioForum, and now you're doing stuff in concert with the Angel Capital Association?
Yes, and we're bringing them in, and the angels typically, on the one hand, they say they don't know too much about family offices, but if they actually check within their own system, it typically is somewhere around 2, possibly 3 family offices. They have 260 angel groups that are members of the Angel Capital Association. So the Angel Capital Association, I figure, has somewhere around 500 family office groups, but they haven't been organized as yet.
Right.
So one of the tasks that I'm working with the Angel Capital Association is organizing the family offices and breaking them out. About a third of the angel capital is going to life science. So we're not going to pick up all the family offices. There'll be family offices that are off doing fintech and all that kind of stuff. That's fine.
Right.
But we're going to pick up the life science ones because we're going to be building that network, and we've got the systems in place to do it.
Are you going to be involved in raising any early stage life science funds per se?
Yes, we're actually working on that right now. We have some of the leading institutions that want to work with us because we're tied in with the leading doctors in the world, and it's world class. And so I think we can have some very exciting stuff. What we're trying to do is we're trying to build a model that is much more family office friendly,
right.
And the like. And it's family offices for family offices. And I think that the first thing we want to do is get the study groups done. We want to have ownership and some people that of the ideas, and we want to work with them to create the opportunities in a much better and more efficient way.
So this isn't a global fund, it's going to be funds?
No,
or
it's
country
going
funds?
to be global.
Okay.
We're looking at some of the things in the chronics like cancer and Alzheimer diagnostics.
Okay.
But people have to understand what are the issues, where the opportunities really lie. Where can you have the most impact? If you talk to the next gens, and we're spending a lot of time with the next gens, they want impact and they also want sustainability. So we're looking at impact and sustainability are 2 of our key criteria.
What do you see in the next 3 years for Stetson Family Office?
We are in a very exciting time frame because we're in an industry that's about to take off. I've been there twice before. I was there for the first Earth Day. I was one of the 4 people in New York working on it. I was there at Union Square with NBC broadcasting and the like, and I watched the industry take off. And I invested in wind power in 1980. I also have been in the secondary business, which is now a $60 billion a year business. But I was there at the point where I knew everyone in the business because there are only 5 of us and I knew the other 4. Mm-hmm. I know that right now we are at that same moment in time where in both cases we're at the beginning. In life science, we're at the beginning of an explosion. A lot of it's going to be around preventive medicine, and one of the things that I think is going to be important for anyone that wants to invest in life science is that they're going to have to start factoring in preventive medicine because we have to do this. Alzheimer's is $288 billion in the U.S. It's doubling by 2030. That's 11 years away, and it's tripling by 2050. It's actually going to be they estimate $1 trillion. That doesn't even count the caregivers and all of that. This is a train wreck that we have to get under control. And so I would submit that some of these therapeutics, 20 years. I mean, I'm glad that people are working on them, and
right,
we do need to work on it. But we have to work on stuff sooner. We have to work on the diagnostics. Let me give you the cancer situation. If you can catch something in stage 1 through a diagnostic, stage 1 cancer, you got a 90% success rate. You catch it in stage 3 or stage 4, it's a 5-year death sentence. We have to catch it earlier.
So prevention.
Prevention.
Good.
And I think the same thing is going to be true with Alzheimer's, although they haven't quite characterized it in
Right.
stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. They will.
Okay. Chuck, listen, thank you so much for the time today. We appreciate all that you've said, and we look forward to continue working together. And I think Stetson Family Office is really making a difference in moving the needle in life science.
Thank you.